my fellow Filipinos, my fellow servants in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Make the Filipino life comfortable and convenient. This was the mandate of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte when we assumed responsibility some years ago. This mandate was very simple, easy to understand, but fraught with implications and lot of challenges. Especially because when we assumed office some 6 years ago, there were 4 realities we had to reckon with. Reality number 1, that the Philippines is delayed 50 years, 50 in terms of infrastructure development. Number 2, that the Philippines is an archipelago consisting of many multiple islands. There are more waters than road. Reality number 3, in order to have comfortable and convenient life, there's got to be mobility and connectivity. Equate that with us being an archipelagic nation. And indeed, that is not easy to handle. And number 4 reality, when we assumed 6 years ago, there were very minimal and minor irritants that can really take the nerve out of you. And so therefore, because of these 4 realities, the Department of Transportation, when it assumed responsibility, had to undertake plans and actions that is directing itself, number 1, to small hanging fruits, number 2, to medium-term plans, and number 3, to long-term plans. Having said this, let us take a look on the low-hanging fruits. Many of you in the audience, especially my fellow Filipinos, is aware and very much aware of what has been happening to them. You know, there is such a thing as laglag bala. There was a thing as bukas bagahe at the airport. This was very irritating as it was very challenging, as it was very discouraging for the traveling public, local and foreigners together. Now, the laglag bala and the bukas bagahe is gone. You can travel to the various airports and to your destinations without fear of being held at the airport because of some ammunitions found or to be found in your luggages. That was an ammunition. Number 2, no more is the opening of bukas bagahe. So you can travel in comfort, you can travel in convenience. Number 2, another low-hanging problem is the so-called no plate number, no driver's license, to the effect that the Philippines was called Republika Walang Plaka. Imagine a country, a nation, a sovereign like the Philippines. You have motor vehicles running without plate numbers. This was certainly a big irritant. In addition to this, there were no licenses. All licenses were all in the interim. Maybe we can even see licenses in coupon bands. Today, as we speak, there is a cross program to make sure that the plate numbers and the licenses are in place. The plate numbers are now in place. The licenses is now on a nice plastic thing, and believe it or not, it has a validity, if you are lucky, for 10 years. Noon, wala nang papel, wala pang validity. Anong klaseng transportation yan? As we speak today, this is long gone. There were 3.9 million vehicles that were absent of plates. Now, this has been addressed. Another irritant is, remember before the NAIA was called one of the worst international airports in the world? Barely 1 year after the Duterte administration has assumed position, the NAIA was classified one of the most improved airport in the world. Today, some 2 days ago, there were some press release about an app saying that the NAIA is one of the worst business class airport. Don't believe that. Let me just state some things related to that press release. Number 1, it is an app based on a study that has no fundamentals or parameters, and you don't know how the conclusion was made. Let me state 2 things. Number 1, it says our on-time performance was below without mentioning certain percentage. I advise you and I inform you, ladies and gentlemen, before 2016, the on-time performance of the NAIA International Airport was barely 40%. In 2019, the on-time performance, according to Skytrack, a very prominent and reputable organization, was 83%. What then is the basis for this conclusion? And then they said, there are no flights. Please do not forget that the Philippines is a destination airport. It is not a hub airport. Having said that, since it is a destination airport, the flights that move in and move out are much lesser than a hub airport. I can spend more talking about this, but in the interest of time, let me just stress, please, don't believe that app. Don't believe that app. Gone are the days. Maybe you remember the MRT-3. The MRT-3 was called MRT-RIC before. Every day, almost every day, tumitirik yung MRT-3 na kung saan naglalakad ang mga tao imbis na nakasakay sa tren, naglalakad sa rilis ng tren. People were complaining. In fact, there was a time there were 2 offloading in a day. By 2019, last year, he advised that there was no offloading at MRT-3. As of today, be advised that the rehabilitation and improvement of MRT-3, which I will touch later on in my presentation, has been completed, such that the movement of MRT-3 is not only smooth and convenient, it is fast and reliable. It is also safe. And perhaps I would like to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that as I speak today, sa MRT-3, libreng sakay. In other words, ang mga tao hindi nagbabayad. Kaaya-aya na, komportable pa, safety pa, libre pa yung sakay. Saan ka makakahanap ng ganyan? Ang MRT-TIREC ay wala na. Ang MRT-3 ay isang partner ng mga tao, hindi lang sa kanilang pagbiyahe, kundi sa pagganap ng kanilang araw-araw na pamumuhay. Marami pa ho yan, but the time limit adjusted to me or given to me behooves me to abbreviate certain things which I wanted to say. Those were the low-hanging fruits which we have addressed at the start of the Duterte administration. Let us go to the medium term and let us go to the long-term projects and performances of the Department of Transportation. The Department of Transportation consists of 4 sectors. Number 1 is the aviation. Number 2 is the maritime. Number 3 is the rail. And number 4 is the road. Let us revisit what we have done on a medium term and long term along these sectors, and let's do it one by one. Number 1 is the aviation and the airport. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that insofar as aviation projects is concerned, your Department of Transportation has completed 250 airport projects all over the country. And this project included not only putting up and building new airport projects, it included repair and construction of the so-called passenger terminal, the extension of runway, the creation of airport, the taxiway, and more importantly, supporting the ancillary service that is needed in the aviation and the airport sectors. Let us, in the interest of time, revisit some of the projects that has been undertaken by the Department of Transportation. Number 1 is Clark International Airport. Who has not heard about Clark International Airport Terminal 2? We have completed this. I hope all of you, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, will find time to visit the Clark International Airport, and then I assure you, when you visit and when you see, you will say, wow, world class. Yes, sir. Clark International Airport Terminal 2 will compete with the best world-class airports. And this is the first time that's been done. The capacity is 8 million passengers annually. That is Clark International Airport. Yeah, have you heard of Bicol International Airport? This is the most scenic gateway in the international airport. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that this project is delayed for 25 years, 20 years or so? But during the term of Duterte administration, it did not only start this project, it completed the project, and it's now operational as an international airport. Long has the people of Bicol wanted their airport. They have waited too long. The Duterte administration stopped that waiting. Look at Mactan Cebu International Airport. It is the world's friendliest resort airport. Capacity, 8.5 passengers annually. If you have time to visit Clark, have time to visit the Cebu International Airport. And you will be saying unto yourselves, wow, the airports now in the Philippines are world-class? Yes, sir. Done by the Duterte administration in barely 6 years. Bohol Panglao International Airport, the Philippines' first eco airport, capacity 3.5 million passengers annually. Long has this been in the planning stage. In the Duterte administration, it was not planned. Walang drawing, ginawa at tinapos, at ngayon, ini-enjoy ng mga tao sa Bohol, ini-enjoy ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino, ini-enjoy ng mga turista here and abroad. Hindi ho malalayo yung Zamboanga International Airport. Ito ho, makikita ninyo na talaga namang napakaganda ng ayos. Makikita nyo mamaya sa slide na kung saan yung mga airport na ating ginawa, magugulat kayo. Yung ibang pasilidad sa airport na yan, some of the facilities there can be compared to a waiting shed. It can be compared to a sari-sari store. Long as those days when the passenger terminal airports are a waiting shed. They are passenger terminal airports which you can be truly proud of. And it happens in the Duterte administration. And so there are other airports that have been put up. The General Santos Airport, capacity 2 million passengers, doubling its capacity of 1 million before COVID-19 pandemic. The Bigan Airport, which we just opened just 2 weeks ago. Yes, our term is about to finish. Matatapos na, umpisa pa rin, trabaho pa kami, nagtatapos pa rin ng proyekto. Kasi sinabi ng Duterte administration, up to the last day of our term, we will not stop performing and achieving for the Filipino people. Puerto Princesa International Airport. The new terminal has been inaugurated in May. Capacity 1.9 million passengers annually. We have lengthened the runway. It can accommodate aircraft. Birak Airport rehabilitated the passenger terminal building. Last June 2018, capacity 300 passengers daily. Will improve connectivity and mobility in Catanduanes. Ormoc will not be far behind. You know, sino nakakaalam ng Ormoc nun? Ngayon, pumunta ka sa Ormoc, sasabihin mo, okay pala mamasyal dito sa Ormoc, maganda yung airport, tinapos din ho yan ng Duterte administration. Marami hong mga ginawa dahilan sa Yolanda, dahilan sa earthquake. Nandiyan po yung Tacloban rehabilitation ng airport. Hindi pa ho marahil natapos ang kabuuan, pero tatapusin po namin yan. Calbayog Airport was inaugurated last 5 May 2021. The new passenger terminal building can accommodate 450 passengers compared to 170 when we assume. Hindi ba napakagandang improvement yan? At hindi malalayo yung Katarman Airport na na-inaugurate noong September 2, 2021. Capacity is 50,000 passengers annually. Dumaguete Airport is not far from behind. Nandiyan ho, capacity from merely 500 to 550. Calibo International Airport to expand and enhance the tourism potential of this country. We have to put up airports so that people, local and abroad, can visit our nice scenic spot. So that we can say that through aviation, we can be a partner to the enhancement and improvement of the tourism program of this country. Siquijor Airport was inaugurated August 26, capacity 60 passengers at any given time, 6 times higher than its previous passenger capacity of 10. Ganun ho yan. Eh yung mga improvement na yan, hindi rin ho mawawala yung Butuan Airport, inaugurated August 5. There are many more. We have put up malasakit centers all over our airport developments so that we complement the convenience of traveling with caring concern with our passengers. Camiguin Airport, another tourism area. We have put up a new airport. Now, as we put up the airports, listen to this. We have introduced 2 important things in airport and aviation. Number 1 is the satellite communication system. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that when we started, we only had 9 radar systems all over the country. Today, we added 10 more. So that what happens now is we have protected the Philippine aerial territory and jurisdiction so that traveling will not only be convenient, it becomes more predictable. The second thing which we have started is the night-rated airport. Before, when the Duterte administration assumed office, planes and aircraft will travel only during sunrise. Sunset, hindi na ho magta-travel because our airports are not night-rated. We have made more than 10 night-rated airports in this time. So that what happens now is not only during sunrise you can travel, but you can travel during sunset. And at the same time, you help decongest NAIA and other primary gateways. And so this is what we have done. While you build airports, improve it, modernize it, make it world-class, you put up some security measures and facilities like what we call the satellite communication system and the night-rated capacity. All told, in aviation during the term of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, so much has been done in so short a time so that we make the Filipino people convenient and comfortable. Ito ho yung nagawa ng Department of Transportation. Ito ho yung ligasiya ng ating Pangulo, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. At sa aking pagtatapos at paglalahad ng ating mga nagawa, isa lang ho ang sasabihin ko, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, fellow Filipinos, in the Department of Transportation, we delivered. Thank you very much.